What's up YouTube, this is Joe from Zephyr Wargames and I'm bringing to you guys a pure DDD deck profile. This is 99.9% pure DDD just because there's literally one card in the extra that isn't named DDD. And yes, this is unfortunately designed to be non-EU playable because it does have to play Zero King Rage for one of the combos that I'm going to the combo that I'm going to show you at the end, which is a 2-card combo. And a big shout out to a guy on YouTube called Tristan Davis for showing off this 2-card combo which you can do in pure DDD. His inspiration and the mentality behind it is that he wants to abuse High Wave King Caesar, which is I do agree, a very underrated DDD card. Just because it is literally a double stun warning in one, which also gives your monsters an attack boost. And the 2-card combo at the end is going to set up 2 Gilgamesh, High Wave King Caesar, a High Flame King Genghis, and a set Dark Contract with the Witch, as well as a complete scale, all from just 2 cards. Which is just a fantastic combo in for a pure build. And I'll also explain some choices that you can make at the end of this if you want to take the base design of this concept and try and make it into a more local levels competitive deck. I'll explain to you some card choices and some engines which you can play at the end as well, just to give you a more of a higher competitive boost for your first 10 boards. So before I get into it, and if you enjoy this, give a like and subscribe down below, ding that notification bell, because obviously if you enjoy person's content here on YouTube, you don't want to miss out on that content, and that notification bell helps prevent that, and all of that is greatly appreciated, and we thank you guys so much for doing so. So with all that said and done, let's go into this pure DDD deck profile. I'll also explain what you can do to take out for the Zero King Rage if you really want to make this EU playable as well. It does turn the 2-card combo at the end into a 3-card combo. You do need an additional level in hand to do the combo, but it is still doable. It again just takes another level, which I'll explain at the end. So for the monsters, pretty standard, 3 Kepler, 3 Copernicus. These 2 are phenomenal in this deck. These are literally the 2-card combo. So heads up there. What can you do if you open up Kepler and Copernicus? You'll see. The 3 Swirl Slimes, self-explanatory. 3 Necro Slimes, self-explanatory. 3 Ragnarok, also self-explanatory. 3 Lamia is kind of self-explanatory but different playable in this deck. We use Lamia in this particular deck as just literally an extender. She's just literally a DD extender. We're not doing like high level synchro plays. We're in the natural competitive variants. We're doing like Hot King Calamity and Starlight Warriors at the end. She is literally in here just a free body extender. You can make your synchros with her, and if you wanted to, but she's not. That's not her goal. That's not her main intent for this deck. Her intent for this deck in particular is to again just be an extender for your link plays, but also being a level 1 non-pendulum, which you'll see why that's important for my particular variant of this build. 1 Ghost again is just another is a tuner target for the deck, which you'll see with one of the tech choices in the extra deck. The 1 Go-Good Zero King Rage, he's very important because he is a DDD 0 scale. If we're given another 0 scale at some point before, I would simply just say, okay, cool, swap him for that. Because that's literally his main goal in the combos, just because he is a settable scale off your Gilgamesh. That's 0, which means we can pen summon back our Kepler. Unfortunately, there's no other card in here in the DD lineup that is a 0 scale, so we have to play Rage, which means that this particular profile and the combo I'll show you is not European legal, which is annoyingly frustrating. Just reprint this card already, or just allow manga promos to be playable by EU. Vice Typhon. We use her at the end. And one Bahamut and the one Night Howl. These are the techs. Bahamut is for the combo. Night Howl is the tuner target to help you go into your DDD Brightest Armageddon, which I believe that combo which I showed in the previous profiles down the line is still doable in this particular build. I did have to take Cross Sheep out this deck, but I can't remember if Cross Sheep was in that combo. I'll have to retry it out. That's it for the monsters. Moving on to spells. For contracts is the 3 gates and the 1 Swamp King. You can bump up Swamp King if you want in this deck, because we are more of a pure focus variant. It's completely up to you, but I wanted to put some extra cards in here, which means I had to keep the Swamp King at 1. Tree Wealth Thousands is to help you get into our level 1s. This means that Lamia can be a combo starter, which means we can search Kepler off this, and we don't care that we wasted our special summon off Lamia, because the main goal was to get a level 1 on board so we can search Kepler. 3 copies of Allure of Darkness, 1 copy 1-for-1, and the 2 copies of Pendulum Rising. Another reason why summoning Lamia with her effect is now just not important, because we just summon her, sack it off for this, or we can just normal summon her as well. So the combo can also be at the end Copernicus, Lamia and Pen Rising. That's another way that we can do it as well. Spicy tech that we got out of King's Court is Pendulum XCs. What you don't know what this card does: target 2 cards in your Pendulum Zone, special summon both those targets, but negate the effects. So immediately after this effect resolves, XC summon 1 XC's monster using those 2 cards as material. When you do, you can also treat one of them as the other level for that required summon, meaning that if you have a level 7 DDD in your Pendulum Zone and your Ragnarok, you can use this, put them both on board, and make your Darkness Armageddon or Kali Yuga, because you will just make the other one level 8. This is a very cool spicy tech. It's a shame that this is not a quick play. I would have loved it if it was a quick play. I'd literally make a DD deck just all based around this card, because this is technically searchable because it's a Pendulum card. But unfortunately, not a quick play, so we can't do that. 1 copy of Cool Bloody Grave. And our 2 traps is the 1 Witch and the 1 Contract with Eternal Darkness. You can search either one of these in the combo, which I'm going to show you at the end. Moving on to the extra deck. Bear in mind, some of these are my OCG copies, just because I don't tend to use this deck at all for competitive play, so I like to use my OCG copies because they are high rarity and they look gorgeous. This is purely for like playing out, playtesting, and for fun, just against friends. 2 Genghis, 1 High Flame King Genghis and 1 High Wave King, 1 Caesar Ragnarok for the fusions. For synchros is the 1 Gus King Alexander, 1 Curse King Siegfried, and 1 Brightest Armageddon. Not doing anything else. For XCs is the 1 Darkness Armageddon, 1 High Wave King Caesar, 1 King Tell, and 1 just OG Caesar, level rank 4 Caesar. And for the links is triple Gilgamesh, because you actually use all of them in the combo, which is hilarious. And the 1 Christian Hackley 5 ranks. This is the only non-DDD card, and it's just something that I would say, even if you are on a budget and you want to play DDD pure, still get a copy of this card. I know he's not cheap. He's like, I believe, £20 a copy or so. But he warrants that price. He's a very good card, and he's a very good addition to DDD for any build that you're playing. He just allows so many combos to be allowed, allowing you to get into your pure end boards of like double Doom Kings and things like of that nature. So I do highly advise to get 1 copy of that. You may not go into it as much in the pure variant as you would like, but just having him in the extract there as an option just warrants so many combos. So that's it for the profile. I'm going to quickly zoom out a little bit and show you what these 2 bad boys can do in the pure variant. If you have Go King Rage as an option, I'll obviously show you, will explain what you need to do if you don't. So to start off with, you're actually going to normal summon our Copernicus and use his effect to dump Swirl Slime. From there, we're going to banish that Swirl Slime and special summon Kepler. From there, we're going to use Kepler's effect, and we're going to add Gate to hand, activate Gate, and add Bahamut to our hand. It's been so long since I've actually got to use Bahamut in a DDD deck, ever since like the very first days of the Arc Caesar Pass. It's just so good. Next, we're going to Link Summon. We're going to go into our first Gilgamesh, and we're going to use his effect to set in scale, go DDD, Zero King Rage, and wave Caesar Ragnarok. And it just has to, the other one just has to, actually no, it doesn't, it has to be Ragnarok. I was about to say it doesn't have to be Ragnarok, it has to be a scale 5 and above, but no, it actually has to be Ragnarok. Next, we're going to pen summon. We're going to pen summon our Bahamut, Kepler, and Copernicus. This is why having Rage being a scale 0 is actually very important. At this point, this is where it would differ if you can't play Rage legally. You would have to put a scale 1 in here, like 3 to 1, 1 to 3, and then you'd have to have an additional level 4 in hand. It could be another Copernicus, it could be a Bahamut. It has to be a level then like 2 and above, basically. It has to be 2 and above, and this has to be a scale 1 to 3. So it could be like Ghost as well. So it just has to be something else that you can pen summon to get the 3 bodies on board. Because we're going to use Bahamut to turn the Kepler into a level 6. From here we're going to overlay these two into our Wave King Caesar. And then we're going to overlay Wave King Caesar into Marksman King Tail. We're going to use King Tail's effect to detach 1 and reduce him by 1,000 and burn the opponent for 1,000. For here, we're going to then use the King Tail and the Gilgamesh to make our second Gilgamesh. From here, King Tail's effect activates and sends a DD from deck to grave. We're going to send our Necro Slime, and then we're going to use the Necro Slime to banish it and a DD from grave. I'm just going to banish Copernicus, because why not? And then we're going to make Flame King Genghis. This is going to trigger our Ragnarok to special summon back a DD from grave, special summon back King Tail, and then this is going to trigger Genghis to get back another DD from grave. We're going to get back Caesar. From here, we're going to use the level 6 Kepler that we made off the Bahamut with our level 6 Flame King Genghis into High King Caesar, and then we're going to link these two into another third and final Gilgamesh. This is going to trigger both Caesar and King Tail, since they're both sent to graveyard and King Tail is not once per turn. So Caesar is going to add us any contract from deck to hand. We're going to add the Witch, and our King Tail is going to foolish another DD. So we're going to foolish Vice Typhon. From here, we're going to use Vice Typhon's effect to banish her and a DD from grave. We're going to banish her and Bahamut. And we're going to make our High Flame King Genghis. You can also make like Beowulf if you play him as well. It's completely up to you. And we're going to set the Witch. And we're going to pass turn from there. So all of this is literally done off 2 cards. A single Kepler and a single Copernicus. It ends on a double Solemn Warning. On your turn, a spell and trap negate. If any of these 2 die by battle during your opponent, you can summon any DD from your extra deck. So you get access to any of these. And then we have a complete scale, which we can start pen summoning again on that following turn if we want to. And we have a set Witch, which is going to boost all of these by 1,000 and allow us to discard a DD or contract from our hand to pop a card your opponent controls. All of that pure, nice and simple, 2 cards ends on that. So again, big shout out to Tristan Davis, who showed off this particular combo. Not exactly, I did toy around with it. Like, he just had this on board. I was like, hang on a minute, you can then do this again and then get your High Flame King as well, and then you get double Gilgamesh. But yes, so guys, again, hope you enjoyed it, and leave your comments down below what you're doing in your DD deck. Also, I just almost forgot, if you want to take this particular build and concept and make it more locals competitive, if you understand what I mean by that, just give it a little extra oomph for your locals. What could you do? You can reduce the number of non-combo pieces that you're playing, and essentially add in other engines to help bolster your end board. So a build that Tristan was running is with the Artifact engine, so triple Sanctum, double Siphon, and Moral Attack. You can play that. That is highly recommended. That is a nice little engine that you can play in this deck. Obviously, if you have the higher budget, you can then go even further. You can play more staples, things like droplets, triple tactics, talents. I'd probably take talents in this deck, definitely. And then hand traps as well. It's just another standard that you can just do. So like you can reduce your lamias, you can reduce your like other little text I'm playing in this build, like the pen risings and stuff like that, and put in things like hand traps and stuff along those lines. But I definitely toy around with the Artifact engine. I think having a Wraith King Caesar, a Witch, as well as a Sanctum set, that's pretty good. So, as always, like, comment, and subscribe. Till next time, as always, happy dueling.